Hey there, busy brains. Brian King here. Before we get started, let me know who you are, where you are in the world. If you're catching this live, if you're catching the replay. If you're watching live, please type a 1 in the comments. If you're watching the replay, please type #replay. Anyways, on with the show. Yesterday, I watched a new comedy special by comedian Chris Rock on Netflix. And, I'm a fan. And he had some really cool things to say about a lot of life issues. But one thing that stood out to me is when he told the story about taking his oldest daughter to freshman orientation at high school. And they kept pounding away at this idea that you can be anything you want to be. You just need to work hard enough. You just need to put your mind to it. And he says, man, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's a lie that we keep telling these kids that is simply not true. We need to tell them the truth. And he said the truth is that you can do what you're good at and only if they're hiring. And of course, he talked more about that. But when I think about it within the context of my own life experience, the experience of my clients, the advice I always give them is, what do you rock at and will somebody pay you for it? That's the question. There are a lot of things that I would want to do. There was a time I wanted to be a cop. I can barely walk these days. I'm a little bit too altruistic. I am kind of a softie. I couldn't be a hard ass like some of the cops need to be. There was a time I wanted to be a firefighter. Again, I couldn't climb up and down those ladders. I can barely, hold a glass these days without it dropping out of my hand. How the hell am I going to carry a hose? I wear glasses. Did you realize that glasses disqualify you from being a pilot? So there are so many things where there are barriers set up that no matter how much you want it, you're not going to be able to do it. But that's okay. Because what you want to do may not be what you're best at. It may not be what your greatest contribution is. I worked with a young man that he had a hobby of racing cars, but he thought he wanted to be an engineer. So he took a lot of the math classes, everything he was supposed to. Many of these classes he took 3 times before he could pass them because he had it in his mind, no, I really want to be an engineer. I really want to be an engineer. All the while, he was racing, fixing his own car, learning all that cool stuff, making it look better, making it faster, and people started asking him, hey man, can you help me with my car? You're really good at that. And then at one point, it hit him that he enjoyed and was better at fixing the cars than he was at the engineer stuff. So he made the shift. A good friend of mine, let me back up a little bit. I was very active before the MS hit me. Riding my bike, walking around, being very active. I studied martial arts for 10 years. And when it hit me that I was going to be likely in a wheelchair for a large part of my adulthood, I reached out to a friend of mine who was paralyzed at a young age. I said, how do you make that shift from being somebody who's walking and active in martial arts and stuff to somebody that can't walk? And he asked me this powerful question. He said, do you have to be able to stand and walk in order to live your life purpose? Bam. The answer was, of course not. Because my life purpose isn't about my legs. It isn't just about who I think I need to be or what others want from me. It's what did I rock at that I made my greatest contribution that people would pay me for. And guess what I rock at? I rock at mindset. I just helped a young lady this morning, a client of mine in high school, very, very anxious, very self-defeating. So I coached her through it over texting back and forth. And at the end of our conversation, she said, thank you. I just needed a different mindset to calm down. Boom. I lived my life purpose. I did it through texting. I didn't have to stand and walk. I didn't have to be awesome at math, no matter how much I wish I was, because it isn't about what I want to be, what I want to do. It's about what do I rock at that makes a difference in people's lives. And how do I set it up so that people can reimburse me for it and I can use it to make a living? So that's my 2 cents on human potential. And it started with just watching a comedy act. And if it's helpful for you, I came up with this idea this morning of a messaging, texting-based coaching process that I need some people to help me pilot. So if this is something that you're interested in, shoot me off a message and I'll give you more details. But in the meantime, if you like this message, comment, let me know. Make sure you share with other people who can benefit from this message also. Until next time, this has been Brian. Thanks for being you.